We're here with Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs. Governor Hobbs, thanks so much for taking time for us today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Just to get started, tell me, how have these first few months been going for you? They've been busy, I'm sure.
Well, we're certainly settling in, but busy is a good description. I am building a great team. We are focused on building an Arizona for everyone, and so we're really have been focused on getting out into communities and hearing from Arizonans what they want.
Now, you are actually the 5th woman to head up our state. Arizona actually has the highest number of female governors in the nation. How does it feel to join that group?
I am really thankful for the folks who paved the way. I was in high school when Rose Mofford became governor after Meecham's indictment, and she actually came and talked to us at Arizona Girls State. She was still the Secretary of State at the time, but she's someone I've always looked up to. We were really at a historic time in terms of women holding elected office. We have a historic number of female governors around the country, and yet it's only 12, which is less than a quarter. And so we have a long way to go. There's some progressive states like California that's never had a woman governor, so I feel like we're doing great here in Arizona.
Yeah, you mentioned seeing Rose Mofford and what an influence that had on you. Did you ever think that you might join those ranks back when you were younger?
I mean, certainly seeing women hold positions of leadership, which we've been great about in Arizona, is something that helped me move forward, and I was never held back thinking, I'm a woman, I can't be in this role. At the same time, I never thought I would be governor. I never thought about running for governor when I was growing up.
Now, it's been said that, women leaders are held to a different standard than their male counterparts. Has that been your experience? And if so, how have you worked through that?
I think I'm fortunate. I am a social worker, and I worked in, it's a very female-dominated field, so I always had strong female bosses and role models who really mentored me. So again, I never felt held back by my gender. When I was in the legislature, we were pretty equal in terms of numbers, women in the legislature. But I will say, I think I see it more on the campaign trail and the sort of attacks that come at you as a female candidate versus male candidates, the things you can and can't say that your male counterparts won't get criticized for, but you will. So, I just keep moving forward, and that's the best way to handle it, I think.
You mentioned Rose Mofford as being a big influence on your life, but who are some of your other female role models that you've had over the years?
Well, I would certainly say my mom. She was a stay-at-home mom for most of my childhood, and then when my sister and I were 10, my parents had more kids, and then in that, my mom decided to go back to work so that we could be more financially secure, and that was a really tough choice for her because she wanted to be home, and my brother and sister didn't get that same experience of her as we did. But she was someone who would do what it took to make sure her family was okay. And so that is something that has always stuck with me. My parents struggled a lot, and my mom was just that kind of solid foundation that we're gonna do what it takes to get through this. And then Rose Mofford is someone who, with her iconic, beehive hairdo, I have her desk in my office, and it was in the archive building when I came to the Secretary of State's office, and I asked for it, and they brought it to my office. And then when I won this race, the archive folks were like, "Do you want to take it upstairs?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I sit at her desk. I have Janet Napolitano's veto stamp on it. So yeah, some pretty powerful role models here in Arizona.
Now that's full circle.
Yeah.
Let's say you and I sit down in 4 years or maybe even 8 years. How do you hope that people look back and remember your time in office?
I'm hopeful that they see me as a leader who is empathetic, who understands the needs of Arizonans, and is able to put partisan politics aside and address some of those really critical needs.
Well, Governor, it was such an honor to speak with you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.